Now, you describe perfectionism as a control issue. Why do you say that?
Perfectionism is a control issue because people who are perfectionists are trying to get control. They want to have the perfect wife or the perfect husband or the perfect child or the perfect house or the perfect job or the perfect outfit or the perfect look or the perfect body. So they're trying to get in control of whatever it might be to make it perfect. And it's very, very hard to do that because perfection is very, very difficult. So it's this control. We need to give up that control. I'm not saying we have to give up on trying to have a good body or trying to have good children or drive a nice car, but we don't have to be perfect.
So knowing that we're human and we can't be perfect, what makes us perfectionists?
Most people want to be the best they can be, and so they think that the ultimate goal is perfection. So they strive for that, which there's really nothing wrong with striving to be really, really good. It's just that when we strive to be a perfectionist, very often what happens is we become procrastinators instead, because many of us won't do something unless we have a big chunk of time in which to do it, because we want to save it until we have the time to do it perfectly. So consequently, that big chunk of time never comes, and it never gets done. It gets put off, put off, put off. And so people who are perfectionists sometimes will have a messy house because they're saving the time until they can clean it all at once. Or they will not get their project finished because they think they're going to do it all at one time, and that time never comes.
Do you feel like perfectionism sets you up for disappointment?
Oh, I definitely feel that perfectionism sets us up for disappointment. When we have very, very high expectations of other people, and those other people don't live up to our expectation, that can be very hurtful to the other person as well as to us. And when we expect perfection from ourselves and we fall down, we just aren't quite what we think we should be, we beat ourselves up worse than we would ever beat anyone else up. And there again, it's not good for our self-esteem.
Does the desire to be perfect, this need for perfectionism, have anything to do with how we feel about ourselves, our self-esteem issues?
Most definitely. People who suffer from perfectionism usually are very, very critical of themselves, and they're very afraid of other people being critical of them. And this is a basis of self-esteem, or lack of self-esteem, this fear of what people might think or what people might say. And that's why they try so hard to make sure that they look perfect, that their homes are perfect, that they do things perfectly, their children behave perfectly, because they do not want anyone to criticize them. And it's a good possibility this comes from criticism in the past, from when they were growing up. And so we need to look at that and say, why is this so important to me? Have I allowed the opinions of other people to affect my opinion of myself? And is it important that everything be so perfect, or would it be better if I had a better relationship with the other person rather than demanding perfection of them?
How do you help somebody to stop being a perfectionist? What steps can they take to get away from that?
If they will just learn to accept that good enough is good enough, or very good is good enough, or excellence is good enough, they can stop the perfectionism. The other thing they can do is start doing things with little bits of time, little chunks of time. Do a little bit now, a little bit then, a little bit more later, and they'll find that before long they have excellence, even though they don't have perfection, but at least they don't have that mess, or they don't have the project that's left undone because they used what time they had.